Keir Starmer panics after J.D. Vance's brutal final warning. In the high-stakes world of politics, moments of panic are rare, but when they strike, they reveal everything about a leader's fear, weakness, and uncertainty. And right now, behind the polished speeches and carefully crafted smiles, Keir Starmer finds himself cornered. Why? Because across the Atlantic, a voice has spoken, loud, clear, and devastating. J.D. Vance, the rising Republican star and running mate to Donald Trump, has issued what many are calling his final warning to Britain's Prime Minister. A warning so sharp, so uncompromising, that it's shaking the very foundations of UK politics. It all began quietly. Vance, known for his blunt honesty, delivered a message about America's shifting priorities, its allies, its enemies, and its future. But tucked within his words was a dagger aimed directly at Starmer. He suggested that Britain's leadership had become too dependent on American approval, too willing to follow Washington's orders, and dangerously out of touch with its own people. To most, it sounded like a routine critique. But insiders claim Starmer's inner circle heard something far more chilling, a signal that the special relationship could collapse if the UK doesn't change course. Closed doors, panic set in. Reports suggest urgent meetings inside Downing Street, advisors scrambling, strategy sessions dragging late into the night. Why would a single warning from an American politician cause such a stir? The truth is simple: Starmer's entire plan depends on projecting strength, both at home and abroad. If J.D. Vance's words prove true, if America begins to distance itself, the UK could be left politically isolated at a time when its economy and global influence are already under pressure. But here's where the story takes a darker turn. Sources claim Starmer fears something more than a diplomatic rift. He fears exposure. Because hidden in Vance's speech was not just a critique, but an accusation. An accusation that Britain has been hiding its weakness behind empty promises, presenting itself as a global power while quietly struggling to maintain its military, its energy security, and its economic independence. And if that truth breaks into the open, it could unravel Starmer's credibility overnight. This is why some are calling it the final warning. Not to Britain as a whole, but to Starmer himself. A reminder that in a world where power is shifting, the UK cannot afford to stumble, cannot afford to be seen as weak, and certainly cannot afford leaders who are more concerned with appearances than reality. And as J.D. Vance rises in the US political arena, his words carry more weight than ever. So, what happens next? Will Starmer find a way to prove his strength, to counter the warning and restore confidence in his leadership? Or is this the beginning of a slow unraveling, a chain reaction that could shake both his government and Britain standing on the global stage? One thing is certain: the clock is ticking. And Keir Starmer knows it. Because when a politician panics, it means the truth has struck closer than they'd ever admit. And the real question we must all ask is this: if J.D. Vance is right, and this was the final warning, what comes after?